Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning. Oh,
Good
there's
morning.
we're waiting for Roger to join us, and it's good to see you all here in the on the show already waiting here.
You look cold, man.
It's mucho cold today.
Uh, I never know. I never know. Okay, so it's cold. It's cold here where we live.
Good morning, my children.
It's a lot of
Wow, a
energy
lot of
this
people
morning.
out already.
You had a
Holy
lot of
smoke.
mugs.
We got a lot
Yeah.
of mugs. We got a lot of mugs.
Good
Your
morning,
mug?
Polly.
Oh,
Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Herbie. Kelly, good morning. Carol, good morning.
Oh
And
my
everybody
gosh.
saying hi to you,
Hi, Mary.
Jonathan.
Hi, Mary. Hello, everyone.
Good morning, Danny. Nanook of the North. Oh, Lord. I want you to know, folks, it is cold out there.
Yeah.
yeah, we don't need any and I think it's weird all over the United States. Tell you the truth, I think it's
Yep. By golly, the wind, she's going like 100 miles an hour there, by golly.
it's really weird when you do that. Did you know
I'm
that?
sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am. Did you say something? Now you see why we get along, Jonathan?
Yeah.
We're both the same way. She's just as nutty as I am. And I love it. I really do. Yeah, muy
Well,
frío. Mucho frío.
No, I can feel she's your soulmate. You guys
Oh,
were meant
yeah,
to
by
be,
far,
man.
yes. Salud, everybody.
I got
salute.
water.
Good
Cheers.
for you. You're very healthy. I was telling Jonathan what you put in our coffee in the morning, and it's instant
Jonathan,
coffee.
have you seen that the little video, the funniest videos? This grandma, she thought she's on the phone and she got a bottle right here of water.
She's
Oh
a
gosh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
hysterical.
that's funny.
Well, there's so many of those funny videos on TikTok. I love watching those.
Yeah, I
And
know.
she's hello.
And she
Oh,
doesn't know why she can't hear
that
anything, but
bottled
her phone
water.
is on the table and she's going, "Hello." You know.
Yeah, someone hands her a water bottle and says, "Mom, it's for you." It's hello, hello.
Good morning, Lisa.
So we're waiting
Tina's
for
okay,
people.
I hope. Tina's okay.
Tina is working on getting better. She's in physical therapy. Is she still in physical therapy, Lisa? I hope she's doing better and that she continues to get well. She's had quite a year in 2023.
Yep.
We have been, she's been on our prayers constantly, and we just, lift our prayers up to her for more healthy days. And so, if you don't know already, we have as our guest today.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Da, 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 da. Okay. Bear
Jonathan,
with me, Jonathan. I'm here all week.
Jonathan Keyword. Okay, be quiet. Be quiet, please.
See,
It's it's Jonathan Keyworth who is on JK 47 paranormal investigator. That is what he does. He has said he's going to join us today. I hope we haven't ruined it for him and that he won't be on again. I hope he always
No,
will say
I
yes.
don't mind. No, yeah.
So what he does is he this is what his call is right now. He investigates cold cases that have not been solved.
and today it's cold.
He communicates with those who have passed, the ones who have been involved in their death. So he has said he would come on board today, talk about some of those that he has handled, that he has communicated with. He also has a couple clips that he'd like to share with us today. I'm really excited about that. And just having you on, Jonathan, is awesome. And your energy that you bring to all of your shows and and your motive for doing what you do is just, it touches our hearts. So he's also helped families from coast to coast with poltergeists and hauntings. And those are interesting stories too. I was listening to your podcast last night. You have a new podcast. I'm going to let you talk pretty soon. I would like to know I would like you to say and
Good
tell us
morning, Rachel.
some of the shows you have on and what days they are and so forth, and what they cover. So,
So on Sundays was the very first podcast I ever was on. We started that with my buddy AJ Capasso. Um, it used to be a Coventry Circle Paranormal podcast. That was his podcast, and I was so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, I love to be on the podcast, and we so he invited me as a co-host, and we changed the name to Talking with the Source. So
okay. And that's on
talking,
Sundays? Is that on Sundays?
yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Sundays, usually around 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. my time. So that's like 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern. Um, kind of interferes with Bronco games during football season, but it's okay. I'd rather talk about spirit and stuff. So, but we have amazing guests on there. We've talked to a lot of great people, a lot of famous people in the UK, and we've had like Patty Negri on. We got to get Roger on. That's who we should have. We should have Roger on there. But talking with the Source, we started about 2 years ago, and then last year, it's almost been a year. In March, it will be a year. I started my podcast, Targeting with the JK-47.
Thank you.
Let me
where I
ask you a
do,
question, Jonathan,
yeah.
right there. Why 47?
So so as you know, I was in the military.
Yeah.
Went overseas, and I was shot at by AK-47s. So Jonathan Keyworth, hence JK, JK-47.
Okay.
I really am proud of serving, and I'm lucky to be alive, and I pay tribute to my Army brothers that way. So so JK-47 is how that
On this
came
show
up.
today, do I get to say anything? Did I pick up on Jonathan?
Yeah,
I think
sure.
absolutely. I bet you
I'm
pick up a
either
lot.
picking up the name of Allery or Mallory.
No, like I said, I do my sessions down here every Tuesday, so spirits are hanging out, waiting for help to move
there's
on.
somebody either Allery or Mallory. I don't know who this is. Or it could be Valerie, too.
Yeah.
Because I hear that.
I got a friend, Valerie, that lives in Lyman. She's my Army brother's sister-in-law. So, yeah.
Okay. Let me real quick say hello to my cousin, Albert. Good morning, primo. Hello to Christine. Hello to Amy Loveday. And we love the date. Yes, we do. To Tina Soto, good morning. Good morning. Everybody, this is our good friend, Jonathan Keyword, who has a spirit box, and he's constantly talking to the other side. It is so cool. You're going to like today's show.
Yes. I mean, I'm not
my buddy Chris. Hi, Chris.
Oh, cool. I'm not sure we're going to make you talk to the spirit box. I think that if people should join you and see you in your shows to watch you in action, it is, I mean, it's up to you if you want to do that, but
Yeah.
we are
So
learning. Go ahead.
Oh no! So that second podcast that I started about a year ago, it's called Targeting with the JK-47, and I do live spirit box sessions every Tuesday at 12 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and you can catch it on your lunch break. I'm only on. It's a short show. I'm on for about a half hour, 40 minutes. It doesn't take too long, and then I review the evidence that I get, and I post that video by Thursday. It takes a little while for editing and stuff, but the case I'm working on now is for Jason Landry. He was a college student at Texas State University, and it was December 13th, 2020. He went missing, and does Jonathan have a mug? No, I don't drink coffee, so I got my water. So that's my mug right now. But yeah, he went missing. He was on his way home for Christmas break, and it's a straight shot from where the campus is to Houston, and between 11:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. he went missing, in Luling, Texas, and the spirits have been telling me, I've done 4 sessions for him, that somebody got in the car with him, and pulled a gun. You can see his story if you want. You could, if you guys have the Discovery Plus app. It's a show called Disappeared, and he's on season 10, episode 4. It's called The Long Drive Home. It's an inspiring story. His dad's a preacher, and the police kind of botched the investigation, and
Did
basically,
Jonathan,
yeah,
did you ever check into that? The information I gave you about a place called the Rocking M?
the Rocking M. No, I haven't gotten that.
I used to play there. It's in Luling. I
Is
used to
it
play there,
really?
play music,
Okay.
and if you go behind it, there's like wooded area back there.
Oh, okay. Well, that maybe what I'm feeling from spirit is I got to go down there and use my spirit box and try to find him. In
Wow.
this last session, I got my first name. It said Ross. And I asked, is his body close to where the car is, where the car accident was? Because they found his car crashed into a tree, and the back window was kicked out.
Yeah.
So that
That's weird.
means
Yeah.
somebody kicked the window out, and what I'm feeling is he was trying to escape, and they found his clothes scattered along the road, and they found his backpack, but they didn't find him. So I don't know. It's really a interesting case, and the show is called Disappeared. Lisa, Disappeared is what the show is called.
And is it
Real quick, want to say good morning to Chris Bender. Chris, you asked me whether I did past lives. No, but our dear friend Nancy Robinson does.
I think so. I think she
I
does.
will try to connect you with her. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Good morning, Debbie Helderson. Good morning, Joe Hernandez. Good morning, Julie Evans from across the pond.
He's
Speaking
really
of
a-
which, speaking
Yeah,
of which,
I mean, it's an interesting case, and he loves his parents. I always ask, do you have a message for your loved ones? And he always tells me, tell them I love them. And he used to wear these socks, like SpongeBob socks, or like crazy socks, and he used to call them his silly socks. And
Wow.
in the last 3 sessions, I said, what did you call your socks? And he always says silly. So it's so I know I'm talking to him. I think I am.
And so yeah. And so when did he die, or when did he disappear? What was that?
So the interesting thing is, I came onto his case on December 13th. He went missing December 13th, 2020. And
Wow.
I was sitting there looking, because I just finished the Jameson family
Right.
case, and until I can get some more questions to ask him.
Mhm.
And actually, the sheriff on that case just became friends with me on Facebook. So
Good.
hopefully he'll listen to the video. I don't think he's watched the videos yet. But
Wow,
if he
that's
gets more
good
questions,
progress.
I'll go back to that case, because I was getting
Wow.
some good stuff with him too.
Wow.
good morning, Bonnie Weldon. Folks, Bonnie is in the midst of the snow thing. I mean, she's in Iowa, of all places.
Oh no!
Oh boy, you have our condolences on that one.
Vicky
Yes.
Howell, good morning. And Kathy Little, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning,
Glad
everyone.
to see everybody
Yes.
here this morning. Our special guest today is our good buddy, Jonathan Keyworth. So he has JK47. And by the way, there's a singer, I guess it is, that is under JK47.
Yeah, some rappers named
Yeah.
JK47.
And I'm looking, that isn't him. It's the wrong color.
Oh my gosh, 28 inches of snow and
On
7 foot.
feet. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
That
they
sounds
said
like-
it was a blizzard.
Don't forget to check the mail, buddy. Get away.
But make sure you tie yourself to your house before you go check it, right? That's what they used
You
to
know,
do in
honey,
the prairie.
this is God's honest truth. Years ago, this guy was coming out of his driveway, turned right, went maybe about 2 blocks or a block, and he couldn't find his way home, and they found his body.
Well, it's
Couple
I
days
said that
later.
jokingly, but it is not
It does
as-
happen, yes.
It does happen, and people need to be careful, and they do need to think
Please
about
be careful.
what they're doing.
I just want to say hi to Vicky. She said he contacted my husband on the other side. Yeah, I remember that. It was during a live show.
and
So,
you and
I'm glad
through
I could
you
help you out, Vicky.
and through you were able to we were able to connect with my brother Kenny.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a
Kenny. He
phenomenal
said,
way.
"Hey, sis." Yeah,
He's-
yeah.
He always said, "Hey, sis," and I could hear his voice. It was his voice.
Good
It is
morning,
so-
Kathleen.
It was an amazing thing for me because he never comes through for me other than that day. I mean, because he was very much older than me, so he's on to his own life in this realm. And so I was just the baby sister who was the baby, and I just said hi, Kenny, usually all my life.
Good morning,
And-
Denise.
For him to come through was really, really something for me. Thank you.
And-
It was
and we gotta
amazing. I
say
still
this,
get goosebumps.
Oh,
we
me
gotta
too.
say, ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, on Wednesday's show, we were going to have our dear friend Lori Johnson with us, but apparently, like we said, things we couldn't control. Lori lost a dear friend of hers, so
Wow.
we just let that go. And we said, I told her, I said, don't even worry about it. You contact me whenever. I said, and take your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my wife just lost one of her best friends growing up. They were in a car accident head on,
Sorry.
and
So sorry.
it was her husband, her and her baby, and her daughter. And her and her daughter died instantly, and the husband just passed in the hospital. So the baby's still alive.
Oh, wow.
So she's going to the service today. So
I'm so sorry. That's so tragic, isn't that a young family?
yeah, it is. And that's what I've learned on my spiritual journey is that you don't know when your time is. But don't be
Exactly.
afraid. Don't be afraid of death.
Right.
It's just the next stage that you go through. And it's really helped. This journey has really helped me with my PTSD, and I was always worried about passing on and stuff with all the stuff that happened in Iraq, and
Mhm.
and now I'm not scared. I'm not
Mhm.
afraid. Because I know I'll still be with my loved ones, and I can help protect them, like my son and stuff. When I pass, I'm gonna be with him and my daughter, and
Yes.
yeah.
I know it's crazy how that it does change you. It's life changing. When I didn't know anything about psychic mediums or anything until I met Roger about 7 years ago now, again, and and he. I'm
Teresa
not,
Cummings, good morning.
I'm not going to
And
go into it
also
in full
to
detail, but I mean, once he started,
honey, look
people-
what the cat dragged in. Tammy Maddox.
Oh wow!
Where
good
have
for
you been, girl?
But anyway, once my family started coming through through Roger, it really changed my life, and it made me not afraid of my own,
And I've
my
been
own-
there and I've done that.
and yes, he had a near death experience himself. So, it was really comforting to hear them, and he didn't know them, and he would explain what they look like and everything, and some of the things that they would say to me I wouldn't expect them to say, but it made total sense because that was how they were. The personality also came through. So anyway, Yeah,
Honey,
it
I
is
gotta
life
address
changing.
something that Amy's asking.
Okay.
Amy Loveday, we don't start out that way. Like anything for me, no. You just sit in that corner, young lady, and don't you move.
It'll come if something comes through for you, something will come through for
It
you.
really, it just got to go with the flow. Everybody
Right.
knows that. You just log on
Today
and we just go with it.
today is kind of well, it's a little different on the format because we have this wonderful guest with us, and
Yep.
we want him to have a chance to explain and talk about what he does and what he's found out. And he's also brought a couple of clips along with him to share with
Senor,
us.
the floor is yours.
Oh, really? Are you going to interrupt him again?
No, I'm talking to Jonathan. He can speak. Hello.
No, I just go with the flow. I don't care if people interrupt me. I just,
Okay, no, I
I
mean
just
Oh,
go
man,
with
the
it.
word.
it's all joking, but I am trying to help him, be quiet sometimes.
Okay, take me
No,
out the
it's
street.
you can't. Spirit comes through us. That's why we
Right,
talk when we have
exactly.
to. You know.
So Amanda Ward is also from the UK. I'm just going to pop some up. She says, "I think Jonathan is very interesting." Oh, you
Thank
you
you.
How
have no
many of
idea.
you people liked the show and shared the show? Huh?
I
There's
did.
no
I
guilt here.
shared it to all my
I know.
posts.
Denise did too. Thank you, Denise.
Yes. In fact, when you guys do, okay. Yes, invite your friends. Just get on that.
Bite your friends. How come you're gonna
Invite
bite your friend?
invite your friends.
Oh, invite. I didn't hear that part. I heard the bite. Okay, good morning, everybody. Have your coffee, your chocolate, your tea, and here's to you.
Everybody has to confess that they shared and liked the show as they come in on this show, Jonathan, because
Otherwise, we put them in timeout.
we put their feet to the fire. It's really not. I mean, I don't even know why they come back because Roger's so mean sometimes.
Jonathan, has there, aside from the Jameson case, has there been another one that you saw or got involved in and got
Yes,
it
talk
done?
about. I would like to hear more. And some of the
Oh my
hosts.
gosh.
Yes,
So, gosh, when was it? Like a year and a half ago is when I started working the cold case. Actually, 2 years ago. You remember when Gabby Petito? She was all over the news because she went missing while she was on that road trip with her boyfriend Brian Laundrie, and that's when I started. I'm like, you know what? I wonder if Spirit can help me find this girl, and I got it on my YouTube page. The session that I did when she was missing, and she came through and she said, I'm in Oklahoma, and that's where they found the body, was in Oklahoma.
wow.
And I remember asking her, so where's Brian at? And she said Northport, and that's where they found his body when he killed himself, was in Northport. And that was about 2 weeks before they even found him. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I worked on that one. I worked on the Idaho State murders. I when that happened, I worked on JonBenet Ramsey case. I did
On that one, who did you think did it?
I think it was the old man that played Santa Claus, is what she said. I forget
Okay.
his name, but the it's on my YouTube, and it's actually in the top clips on my TikTok. So it's on the very top, the JonBenet one. Because I didn't know anything about the case, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to find out, because I was watching on the news how her father wanted to get the DNA evidence from the police and get it to a specialist, so that they could do the genealogical linking.
Right.
Mhm.
And she said it was the old man, and it came through in a little girl's voice. That's what shocked me.
Wow.
And I don't know if I have that clip, but I can. If you go to my TikTok, it's in there. It says JonBenet Ramsey.
Okay.
And then I've done the Suzanne Morphew. She was a mom that disappeared, was murdered on Mother's Day of 2020, and that was here in Colorado. And they just recently found her body in the sand dunes, which was about 45 minutes away from her house. And the husband, the really weird thing about the case is that the husband's on tape driving all around Colorado, throwing trash bags in public receptacles all over town after she disappeared. And
Oh, wow.
and she said he did it. I know he did it. I can feel it. And
Okay.
another case was the one in Philadelphia. God, what is her? Ellen Greenberg. Ellen Greenberg was stabbed 10 times in the front, 10 times in the back, and it was declared a suicide, which
What?
was really weird. Yeah.
10 times? No. Who's the idiot?
I'm like, if you
Up?
stabbed yourself once, you're not going to do
You're
it
done,
19
yeah.
more times, you know? Especially 2 of them were in the back of the head. And
That's an idiot that signed off on that.
yeah, so her fiance, his parents are friends with who is now the governor of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
said it right there.
Yeah.
And that's a crime of passion.
Yeah, he
It
had
had to be somebody who knew her.
yeah. If you know, the repeated stabbing is
Yep.
the heart aching, just the anger. That's why
Mhm.
it's a crime of passion. Yeah.
Want to
Yeah.
say good morning to Carolyn Thomas. Good morning, Richard Dearden. And good morning to who else? Teresa Dobbs. You want to answer this one right here, Jonathan?
Yeah, good morning, favorite. Can John tell me if he knows if I have any bad spirits in my house? My deceased husband grew up. His mother was a card reader.
Christopher James.
You know, in a lot of the poltergeist cases that I started working on in the beginning, you know, when you're hearing this stuff, what I started with was I made brine. If you don't know what brine is, it's more salt than water, but I'd mix it up and I would put it in a spray bottle like this, and I would walk around the house, and because salt is sodium, and you know, when I started out, I wanted to take a very scientifical approach to it, and you know, all the religions use salt. Like in the Catholic Church, if something's happening in your house, they'll put salt in the 4 corners of the house. In witchcraft, they make the salt circles around them when they're casting spells or
It's
whatever
a
they do.
neutralizer for spirits.
Yeah, it's an energy killer. So
Just talking.
I was thinking, you know, if we drink salt water, it hardens our kidneys and we die. If you spray salt water on a plant, it dies because the salt absorbs all the water from it. And so what I do is I go around the house and I would spray it. I'd spray it on the walls everywhere, and I would kind of trap the spirit or entities in a room, and then I would do my sessions, and I'd say, okay, so it's time to move on. You don't need to bother these people anymore. So everybody can do this. Everybody has the power. You just got to ask your spirit guides. If you don't know your spirit guides' names, you can say, spirit guides. Just call them spirit guides. Just say, please help me move this spirit on. Help them. You know, they don't need to be in my house anymore, and you can do it. So
Can Kathleen contact you regarding this case here?
yeah. Just Facebook Messenger me on. Just search Jonathan Keyworth, and you know I can help you over the internet here. I can have my spirit guides go to your home and help the spirit move on. So yeah, I can do it remotely now.
Okay, before anything, Jonathan, you want to put up one of your videos?
Yeah. So the first one that's right next to me was my last session for Jason Laundrie. This was the 4th session. If you want to play that one, it's about 8 minutes long.
Okay, the one right next to you. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, this was the best responses. So
Okay, here we go.
everybody know what they must do. Jason, we're going to ask some of the same questions to see if we get the same responses, okay? So the first question is, on your way home on December 13th, what happened to you between 11:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m.? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Jason Landry, can you tell me, were you driving the car when it hit the tree? Were you driving the car? Jason Landry, the back window was kicked out. Was it you that kicked out the back window trying to escape? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Jason, were the people in the car there to kill you? Did the people in the car kill you? So they haven't been able to find your body yet. Can you tell me where you're at from where the car accident was? About how far away is your body from the car accident? Thank you, Jason. Guys, that was a really good one. I've never missed that Thank you, Jason. Guys, that was a really good one. I've never missed that Jason, are you buried?
Wow, they love you.
I heard under the tree. Jason, how far away is this tree from where the car accident
Jason, if I were to come down to where your accident happened, would you help guide me so that we can find your body and we can put you to rest? Yeah. Yeah. All right, Jason, you wore really weird socks. SpongeBob stuff. What did you call those socks? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Jason, do you have a message for your family and your loved ones? What do you want to tell them? So, Jason, what happened to you on December 13th, 2020, between 11:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m.? What happened to make you crash? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Jason, after you were murdered, did they bury your body where the car crash was? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Jason, if I were to come down there with my spirit box, would you help me find the body so we can lay you to rest? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Jason, do you have a message for your family and loved ones? What message do you want me to tell them? Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Santa Christina Ryan. Thank you, Jason Landry, for being here again today. Thank you to my brothers, my army brother, my brothers. I love you all. Lord, love and light. I close this portal and I close this session. And I say goodbye. Can you say goodbye? Goodbye. Thank you.
Wow.
Oh no, it says we love you, Jonathan. If you
That's
cool.
cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I have to admit, the white noise or what that is it's kind of hard to listen to, but then
it is.
it's
Yeah.
well worth it. When
Because you hear it close to the end, whatever it is they're going to say,
So yeah, and your friend Chris says explain the beeps, and maybe if you could explain that noise too, the white noise on the spirit box, just if you can.
Yeah. So what I use is just a standard PSP7. Basically, it's a radio. Okay. Like I could play radio stations on it. Like if I wanted to listen to music, it works just as a radio. But like if you're on a road trip and you go to a new town and you don't know the radio stations, you hit that seek button on the radio and it scans until it finds the next radio station. So basically what this does is this just continues to scan those radio stations. It doesn't stop. It just scans. And I can select how fast it's scanning through. So I'm scanning through these stations at 150 milliseconds. So when I get that beep beep, it's really interesting because it comes at 96.3 is when I hit that beep beep. And there is so much significance in 963 in spirituality. Nikola Tesla said that the secret to the universe is 369. So he never said why it is, but I just
Wow.
that's the same frequency I meditate to the day before I do my sessions. So it's really interesting
But three is the
beat.
common denominator, you know?
Yeah, he said the key to life and the key to the universe is 369. And
Wow.
That is so
I just
cool because you got the 9 and then you got 6 and 3, which equals 9.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you divide them, it's 3.
yeah, exactly. It's
Kind of
the
perfect,
key to
isn't
the
it?
universe.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. It is perfect.
Want to say good morning to Antoine. Antoine, where are you, Antoine? Anyway, good morning, Christopher. Good morning, Antoine. And buddy, what we do is we have our guest on today, and he's going through his videos that he does. This is what Jonathan does. And as far as messages and all that, we're not into that yet. Christine Lemke, don't let anyone tell you that you're an evil person because
Yeah.
you have crystals. That's silly. What they're trying to do is loop you in the next. It's a game. Like they
Right.
go fishing and they hook you on and they reel you in. And next thing you know, you're spending money. Martin, good morning, Martin. And let's see who else. I think I'm caught up to date now. Oh, Candace Marie, honey. Good morning,
Oh,
Candace.
good. I'm glad you joined us today,
Joni
Candace.
Bass, good morning, Joni.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you all for
Everybody,
joining us.
this is our special guest, Jonathan Keyword, who has a show, JK47. And don't get mixed up with the rapper because he doesn't rap.
Well,
So-
maybe he does in private. I don't know. But
Wow,
you
we're
know.
not going to put him on.
I tried while I was in the army. It didn't work
Oh,
very
did
well.
you?
But Jonathan does a show. What, Jonathan, name your show again?
So on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, it's about a half hour, 40 minutes, and I do live spirit box sessions to try to help cold cases. So yeah,
So if you're in the UK, that would be around
7 p.m.
7
right around
p.m.
there.
Yeah, so that would be kind of you at least wouldn't be trying to go to sleep, and it would be well worth your while, I think, to. And it is well worth your while to check this out because it is phenomenal, and I am totally hooked. Actually, tell you the truth, I kind of want you to explain. You on one of your shows, you talked about, or you sometimes have your a cat ball there that
Yeah.
can feel spirit around. Is it a real cat ball?
Yeah,
Or is
these are toys for cats. So
okay?
there's a little button on it. You just push it on, that turns it on,
Mhm.
and it's a mercury based trigger system. So motion won't set it off, and EMF, electromagnetic fields won't set it off. You have to actually
Touch
kind
it.
of, it's hard. Yeah, you have to
Okay.
shake it or
Yes.
touch it. But
Okay.
I've had these go off during sessions,
Yes.
and then other sessions, nothing will happen. The TV that's behind me, I turn that on, and I've had it turn off before on sessions. It's 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. So I think in the UK it's like 7 p.m. But yeah, if you go to JK47 Paranormal on my Facebook, or targeting with the JK47, it's a group. It's a group you can join. It will set you reminders. I set out.
Yeah.
I do it today or Sunday. I'll set up a link for it. So
Oh, well, Kathleen is
Jonathan,
asking. Yeah.
what does it
Can
say?
you
Please let
let
me know about my niece. Her mom is trying to look for her. She died of breast cancer. wanted me to help find her daughter. Oh
I'm not
no.
quite sure.
Yeah, I
That,
can.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I
if
would
you
say that
message
would
me.
have Kathleen contact Jonathan directly, because that way you'll get a better energy level thing, a
Yeah,
quick
kind of
connection.
I'll do a private session for you,
Yeah.
and then I'll review it, and I'll make you your own clip. So yeah, I do all my work for free, by the way. So I don't charge anything. Spirit tells me that I don't need to charge. So
wow.
yeah, they'll take care of me. They'll bring
You
tidings my way.
yeah, you are a unique guy. You're very
Yep.
unique.
Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Yes. And that's in a good way,
Yeah.
I mean that. So yes. Okay. So there's interesting things. Mary says her brother Bob messes with her electronics off and on.
Yeah.
He's still a character. Yes.
Yeah. If they were jokesters in the living, they'll be jokesters
Oh, yeah.
afterwards.
It is so true. That is so true because, when my dad comes through and my sister comes through for me unexpectedly through Roger, it's crazy how their personalities are just uniquely
Good morning,
theirs.
Rob.
It's awesome. We've got Loretta here as well. Yeah. And Amanda says, yes,
Oh.
you're such a nice guy. Yep.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, Loretta.
I'm so glad you joined us today. We are so happy to have our guest Jonathan on to
Yeah.
discuss his
Thank you
work
for having me. Yeah.
and
Buddy, you
he's
got an open door here. You know that.
yeah. We'll be asking again. I love it when you're on our Saturday morning shows. It's just like the energy is so wonderful, to tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
I feel it really good today, and
Hmm.
I can feel the love from all these people, and that's all life is. You can't hold on to grudges as much as we want to. You just got to learn to let go. Live in that love and light. Live in the now. Don't dwell on the past. Don't plan on the future. Just live right now. Just
Just live
enjoy
right
what
now.
you're doing right now.
And especially, I think, and I agree with you. I mean, what we do, it's not like you just sit back and say, okay, life, take me over. I mean, there's, if you're compelled to do something for the benefit of others, go for it. And I believe in my heart that you will be protected while you're doing it. You just have to ask for help from
From
our
your guides. Yeah,
from our guides.
because it's
Absolutely.
a straight link to the source.
Hmm.
And I call it the source because that could be God, that could be
Yes.
Allah. It means so many things to so many people.
Yes.
So you know, and I really feel that connection when I'm doing these sessions because they know my intention is to try to help figure out what's happening and try to show people that anybody can do this, anybody can have this gift. It's just you got to believe in yourself and the rest will come.
Yes, and
So
I love that when you said that last night, when you were developing your gift, I mean, you already had it, you already felt it, and then
yeah,
you just had to learn how to trust it. You just
yeah,
started to be able to trust it. And I love also that you said that even though you don't know who your spirit guides are or your angels, who they are, you can still call upon them and
yeah,
and
yeah.
and
In
and
your
they will
time of
help you.
need, when you feel depressed or you feel really angry or you have a big decision to make, just say, Spirit guides, please guide me. Please guide me to what I need to be at, because we all have a life path that we have the life contract that we signed before we came here. And
Hmm.
and they're here to guide you to make sure you go along that path. So they're
Hmm.
gonna give you the sign, or it's really weird. Like I don't even look at the clock anymore
I
as
know.
time. I look at it as a guide, and I'll always see 111 or
I know.
222, three three
It's
three,
It's
and
crazy.
that that's how they talk to me. So
Yeah. I
In
mean,
our situation, Jonathan, whether she's in the kitchen and sees the clock or I see the clock, I don't care what time it is. If it's something 11, I always yell it out. She always yell it out, and we make the sign of the cross, giving thanks to the spirits.
Yeah, 1111's kind of unique.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the one that you make the sign of the cross and you make a wish, and it
Yeah.
usually happens. They cover it for you.
No, it's funny. I always feel good when I see that, because it doesn't happen very often. But
Right.
Since I have been tuning into my angels, I have been feathers up here every
yeah,
once in a
yeah,
while.
white feathers
White
will
feathers.
yeah,
Yep.
And they come and and maybe they've been there all the time, but I've never noticed them before. And that's the other beautiful thing is that even when I know that even when I was not listening to my guides or my angels and just seemingly making decisions on my own, I do know that they were there to guide me the best they could even when I wasn't asking for their help. I believe that they have been keeping me safe in really bad situations, that I found myself in. And so there's that too, that even when you don't think about them or look to them for help, they're still there and they've been working. But when you start to ask for their help, oh my goodness, everything starts to
yeah.
change.
and
Everything
and
starts to
it,
change.
like that documentary that I was on shows, while I was in Iraq, like once that bullet comes by you, like
Hmm.
you
Right.
just don't you're worried about the people to the left and right of you, and you just don't, you can either stand up and fight, or you can just pray, and
Yeah.
there were so many times where I started out just like, oh God, please help me. And, you know, then I'd get this rush of, I got to protect my friends. So then I'd stand up, and I wasn't
Okay.
afraid, they gave me
Yeah.
the strength to protect my friends because I was
Right.
asking for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
True
Right.
thing. This is a true thing. When I lived in Texas, buddy, and I'm not lying to you, I was shot at twice, and I heard
Yeah.
the
So
bullets
fun.
go like that.
Yeah. It's a snap. It goes, it's really weird. And, yeah, with today being Saturday, the first weekend of the wild card playoffs, you should play that other clip because
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Spirit predicted the Super Bowl winner. So
Okay.
and
I'm
they
glad.
played it.
I'm glad that they put Flacco out there. That he's not done yet. I mean,
Yeah,
that guy
yeah,
is a good
exactly.
quarterback. There's no doubt, and I'm
No,
glad that
I
they
I
gave him
can
a chance
feel
to
I can
prove
feel his
himself.
soul's in the right place. He's in his right time
Yep,
to make it happen.
yep, yep.
Okay, I'm
So
going to be putting up here at the request of Jonathan, and I'm sure everybody else is interested too. This extraordinary clip as well. Here we go.
Spirit, the second question then. Who will win the Super Bowl coming up? What NFL team will win the Super Bowl coming up? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So I'm kind of excited to watch him today. So
Yep, so
Yeah.
am I.
Okay, so I'm glad our show it doesn't interfere with that for sure, right?
no,
Good morning, Leroy.
I can go
Hi.
take a nap after this.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's early. I was worried. I was kind of worried about you, but
Uh,
I know
no,
I know that you've been through a lot more than this. So
yeah, no,
yeah,
the military. When I hear that alarm, I'm instantly awake. I don't even drink coffee, and I'm just
wow,
just
that's good
energized.
for you. Cool.
Good morning, Margot.
Yeah.
This is our dear friend Jonathan Keyword, who has his own show called JK-47 Paranormal. You gotta check it out. It is one badass show.
Thanks, buddy.
And when you get a hold of what's his name, Landry, please
Yeah,
let me know because I know the area.
in
Okay,
Luling.
because I
Yeah,
want to ask him questions and see if we can pinpoint roughly where he's at.
yeah. I mean,
Or
if I go off of what I heard, they said that his body would be near the car, under a tree. So I don't, I'm sure the police, used their dogs and stuff and did all they could, but if you think about it, if they were in this horrible accident and they kicked out the back window, if they did shoot him like he says they did, they wouldn't want to drag him far away from the scene unless they put him in another car. But
Well,
you know,
it's
I,
not
I
a big town,
yeah,
and I played there countless times. I played there in that towns, and I know what they have is there's a place, Jonathan. If you go down there, there's a place where they have barbecue, and I mean to tell you, but they don't give it to you on a plate. They give it to you on butcher's paper.
oh wow.
Kind of
So
fun.
so Kathleen said so YouTube. No, I do this out of love and light. I will never use spirit to make money. Um but I'm not saying that you can't. I never promised them. I just said I'll never bet on your predictions. Um but there has been a few times where I asked my spirit guides, when the Broncos are playing for the other team to miss field goals and stuff. And it's happened a couple times. So it's pretty interesting.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, Chris likes that idea that
Yeah.
because he does know the area. Okay, what's up to you, Jonathan? Up to you.
Yeah. Are you
So
in Texas or where are you guys at?
we're in Wisconsin.
but trust
Wisconsin?
me, I
Yeah.
played all over Texas.
All
And
right.
that's
All
the
right.
God's honest truth. So I know a lot of little towns and big towns.
Yeah. Well, if I do go down there, it would be, kind of coincidence because I got a lot of friends down there because I was stationed at Fort Hood in Killeen, and it's
Killeen,
not
yeah.
too far from Killeen and Austin. So
And I played in Killeen too many times.
yeah,
There's a radio station ballroom down the hill.
So
Mhm.
every town we go through, whether it's Wisconsin, Minnesota, Texas, Roger will say to me, I played there. I played there. Or, North Dakota, South Dakota, Colorado.
62 years, buddy, being on the road in that,
I mean,
Yeah,
if we
man.
go somewhere, I'm going, okay, so
No, I
that's,
love your music. I love the opening to the show. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I got it. In fact, PM me your address and I'll send you a CD.
Oh yeah, no problem. Sure, I'd love it.
I don't know if it's your taste, but because it's, I don't know,
I
it's
love all
old school.
music. I
Oh, good.
listen to classical. I listen to classic rock, hip hop, R&B. I listen to it all. I believe that music, really and strengthens your soul because it makes you feel different ways, and
Yeah.
I can listen to anything and like
The
it.
cool
So
part about it for me is that I've been on stages with all kinds of big names in that. So I go from
yeah.
soup to nuts, basically, from like
Yes,
the
soups and
50
nuts.
mention. I go 50
Yeah.
mention to Jerry Jeff Walker, the Lobos. I mean,
Oh, I
it's
like the
crazy.
Lobos, Los Lobos. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
we did a thing together in Houston, and we got done with our set, so we walked 2 blocks over to their set, and then we got on stage with them, 2 bands together.
Crazy.
It
That's
was
awesome.
crazy.
Well, I feel like some music grounds me actually too. So if I want to
Yeah,
get into
yeah.
and tones, so it is amazing.
Now you
No,
have Jonathan. Have you ever heard of a band called Los Lonely Boys?
no, haven't.
Have you ever heard of a song "How Far Is Heaven"?
No,
Well, if you get a chance,
I'll
somebody,
check
those
it
guys
out.
are my
Yeah.
cousins. They're
Okay.
my cousins, and they lived outside of Denver.
Oh wow. Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll check them out on. Are they on Spotify? You think?
I think they're on everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Cool.
check it out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to have you on the show, Jonathan. I think it's awesome. When I first saw you on Laura Lee's show, I thought that is too crazy. I mean, we've seen spirit boxes on many of the, shows that, hauntings, when people have their spirit boxes out. Did you ever use your spirit box when you were investigating in person people's homes, or was it on your own
Um,
um, talent or own gift as to
I just used I'm an empath, so
okay.
I can feel things that most people just kind of pass on. So I can
Mhm.
kind of feel where spirits at, and that's kind of how I knew where to spray, where not to spray, and I just kind of led them to where they like to hang out, and I would kind of trap them in that room. But once they were in that room, I would use my spirit box to try to listen to their
Okay.
responses because I'm not clairvoyant. I can't hear or see them.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of like a blind and deaf guy. So that's the only way I can talk to him. I just feel around and
Well, that's
I can
good. I
feel
mean,
where they're at.
that's a gift as well.
Yeah.
So,
Vicky, your son is okay because half of my family's down there. My dad is buried there. My grandpa's buried there. My grandma. I mean, we come from.
a
Once
long
they came
line.
across the border, they stayed in Laredo. First in Zapata, then Laredo, and bang! From that point, all
Yeah.
points.
Thank you for his service. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
God bless him.
Mhm. Absolutely. So, I mean, I was intrigued by one of your stories last night that you were talking about,
Mm.
uh, being I'm not sure, I can't remember which state you were in, but you were compelled to go help or people would call you and ask you to help them with the spirit in the house that they were having trouble with, and you, were going and it was where you were smelling a very strange smell.
Oh yeah. That was my very first case.
Oh,
That was
okay,
in
okay.
July of 2020. So I did all of this on my own dime. I paid for my own flights, and I would go help these people. They'd pick me up at the airport, and when they picked me up and we got to the house, as I was getting my stuff out the trunk, I was like, okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? And I'm just kind of talking myself up, and I looked at the house and I could just feel this dark presence just kind of staring at the window at me, and it knew I was there to help them.
Mhm.
And when we walked into the house, um you know I just got this kind of really icky feeling, and she showed me to my room, and in this room it smelled like rotting flesh. I didn't want to be mean. I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, based on what I've researched, is that's the sign of an evil presence, because it only smelled like that in that room and the laundry room. And so that was the room I was staying in. Oh yeah, thank you very much. And so that was the room I was staying in. I was like, whether you like it or not, we're together now, And
Mhm.
in less than a half hour of being there, I got this light anomaly that came out of the closet where I ended up getting rid of it. And it I was terrified at first, and I like that voice in Iraq. Like I heard my
Mhm.
guide saying, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna help these people, So
Okay.
so I did. I went under the house, like on the husband's little thing that you lay down on to work on cars. Like he let me borrow that, and I rolled around under the house, and there was no dead animals or anything, and
So, yeah, so you wanted
we're
to
not,
make sure that it wasn't
yeah,
something that was just logically causing
right, right.
that smell.
Yeah, there was no
Or
cracks in
something
the gas
buried,
line or anything.
something
Um,
buried under the house.
yeah, there was no dead animals, and it's funny when by the time I was leaving, that the smell was completely gone. Yeah. So
And so was
Lisa,
that go ahead.
Lisa, if you ever
thank you.
go out to dinner with Jonathan, give him
Oh
the
no,
bill. Put
I
everything
got
in
the
his name.
I got the wife. I
Gotta
can't go
bring
Uh,
out and
Des, gotta bring Des.
I gotta bring Des too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so is that it was at the farmhouse or the house? I don't know if it was a farmhouse.
It
I'm
was a
assuming.
it was a house. Yeah.
Where you did see that apparition or something in the other
Yeah,
room, is that
yeah.
right?
So that was on the second night of being
Oh,
there. Um, you know, they were asleep. It was around 10:30, 11, and I'm walking around the house just kind of taking readings, seeing if any of the cat balls go off, and nothing was really happening. So, you know, I was getting ready to close the live, and I closed that out, picked up all my stuff, started heading to my room, and there's a hallway, and my room's to the right, and there was another room off to the left there, and I didn't know at the time, but that was the room that her mother died in, and because she was taking care of her mom, and you
Wow.
know, she was bedridden, and that's where she passed. And as I'm heading to my room, I look to the left in the other room, and I kid you not, there was this white person, and it was kind of twinkling, and that's what caught my eye was kind of the twinkling, and I looked, and it looked like the lady off of Ghostbusters, like in the library, like it was that defined,
Wow.
her arms were crossed, and she was just looking out the window.
Wow.
And I said, "Oh my God, nope!" And I turned
That
right
was your
into my
because
room.
that was your first experience helping people,
Yes,
right?
that was my first case. That was my very first experience dealing with the paranormal. I was like, "Oh no!" And I went in my room, put my headphones on, put a blanket over my head, and fell asleep. And and, and the next morning, I was like, okay, I can't be afraid of this. I'm sure she's just trying to help. And I put the cat ball in the center of the room, stood by the doorway, and I said, Sharon, was that you last night that I saw? And the cat ball just started going off for like 15
Wow.
minutes straight. Yeah.
Show
Yeah, it
show the
didn't
people
stop.
that
It
cat.
just kept going off.
Do you mind showing the cat ball again?
Yeah,
Because I find that to
yeah.
be just so fascinating. So this is
Just like
a
this.
regular toy.
So right now it's turned off, and when you turn it on, it lights up, you know, and then it will stop, and the only way that these things can be triggered is by touching it. So hopefully it'll stop here soon. There it goes. But you gotta touch it in order for it to go off. So
And
it
so it
was
was
going off for 15 minutes straight. Yeah.
and it wasn't you who was touching it, and there was nobody else in the
Nope.
room. And
There was no
so
one in the room. You know, she was at the kitchen table just drinking her coffee, and I was just standing there in the doorway asking questions, and the thing just kept going off. And
so as a
yeah,
result, and maybe I'm speeding up the story, but I don't mean to.
no,
Did
no.
you allow? I mean, did the family decide what came from the dark feeling you had before? How did that dark feeling change during your stay with them? And did you help people go to the light, or did they decide to let them stick around,
Well,
or what's the consequence?
whatever it was, um, didn't want to move on. So like I said, I kind of narrowed it down and
Okay.
focused and got it trapped into the doll, and
Okay,
and
that's the doll thing. Okay.
yeah, so we got it trapped in the doll, and I sprayed the heck out of the doll, and then we put it in a bag, and I sprayed the bag, and we put it in another bag, I sprayed the bag, and then we put it in a box, and I sprayed the box, and you know, the husband, I said, get rid of it. I'm like, that thing's in this. I'm like,
Okay.
get rid of it. So
But
Okay.
did you feel it was evil?
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I could feel it. Yeah. It wanted, so it really was focused on her son. Like he was feeling a lot of depression and stuff,
Okay.
and a lot of negative stuff. It wanted their son. So
How
On
old
that,
was the son?
wait. On that particular note, let me say this, everybody, so you know what Jonathan is talking about is the dark spirits come through and they make a person depressed. They keep up with the depression. They close the curtains in their room, everything. They shut themselves off. And countless times I've said on the show, if you stay in the darkness, eventually the darkness will come for you and they'll take you, meaning you'll die and your spirit goes with the darkness. and your body stays here. So keep that in mind. That's why I always tell a lot of my clients, I would say, open up the curtains in your house, let the Lord's light in. And I know it
Yeah.
sounds goofy, but it's very true. If you stay in darkness, darkness eventually will come for you.
Well,
Sorry.
and another thing is like light is a frequency just like sound is, and spirits don't tend to show themselves while it's really bright. But you know, that's why I turn off the lights. But what you got to tell yourself is I am the light. I am the light. I am the love. And no matter how dark it is, you're going to be okay. Yeah. You just got to love yourself. And yeah,
It's
I
very
mean,
powerful. And we do
yeah,
have the power.
yeah. How can you love other people if you don't love yourself? You got to learn to
Exactly.
love yourself first.
Exactly. I say
Yeah.
that a lot.
Yes, we do. We say that every show. We know. Yeah, we do. It is so true. That has, I love that. I love that story, Jonathan. How
Yeah.
your
That was my
first,
very first, that was
your
my
first case,
introduction into the paranormal world.
right? Do you feel that it got easier after that to feel more confidence in
Oh
yourself and
no.
to,
I,
you know?
each case was unique, and there were things on every case that made me nervous. And
Mhm.
I think spirit took me on that journey just to know that we're not going to harm you. You're doing the right thing. You're here to help us move on. And I was just building my gifts, and that's all they were doing. They were taking me on
Mhm.
this journey to build my gifts so that I could get to where I'm at today.
And so, and that was the gifts that you knew you had them in Iraq, right?
Yeah, that's
That
where I kind of
it
was
started saying, oh,
questioning,
yeah,
how did this happen?
right.
Yeah,
And that you're here and that you're still and you're here for a purpose and you find this to be your purpose. That's so cool.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So Lisa's saying, oops, sorry. I think Roger and I were tapping on the same message. Oh, Roger, you need to tell my sister that I would come home from work and she would have the curtains closed, sitting in the dark. I would tell her it's dark in here. You need to let the light in. Oh,
Yeah.
Keep
Tina.
pushing that.
Yeah. I mean, tell her
Go,
we love her. Yeah.
yeah. I stay home a lot. I stay inside a lot, and I'll let the dogs outside, and every now and then I'll go out there with them just to play, and that
Mhm.
that that loving light. I just feel so good outside,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I just stay inside. I
It's
don't know why
well,
I don't go outside
for
so
me,
much.
just stepping outside now, it's cold here, and I know it's cold where you are, Jonathan. We talked about
Yeah,
that, and it's cold a lot of places. But even just to step out and even to feel that sharp winter and just look at sometimes when it sun shines, the sun is shining and it's very cold out, that even makes me happy. I don't, because I'm a northern girl,
yeah.
so
No, before my sessions, I always make sure to go outside and just put my hand on a tree, or
yeah,
put my hand on the ground, or
yep,
play with my dogs outside. I just get
yep,
grounded, and
yep.
it really helps with my connection. So,
Do you feel like your animals help you get grounded, keep grounded?
oh
This
yeah, they're
yeah.
they're always here when I'm doing my session. They're always laying on the couch over here.
Mhm.
I see them as my spirit guides, Santos, Christina, and Ryan. The I got two big ones and one little one. So I always see
They
them as my
are.
spirit guides. Yeah.
Yep.
Farida, welcome to the show. This is our good friend Jonathan Keyworth. He is our guest today, and he has a show called JK-47 Paranormal. And you need to
Targeting with
look
the
that
J.
up.
Targeting
Yeah.
with the
Targeting with the JK-47.
yeah,
Yeah.
targeting
Yep.
with it.
Okay. So welcome to our show. We see that this is your first time.
And
Yeah. Welcome.
usually, yes, usually we do have reads on the show, readings. However, we really wanted to talk about Jonathan, our guest. We wanted
Oh,
to.
she said second time.
Oh, okay. And we wanted to, if you haven't seen his sessions or watched him, please, we encourage you to do so. It is a fascinating and another way of communicating with spirit.
Yeah, and I'm not in it for the followers or the views. I'm just sharing my spiritual journey,
I
just how I've
know.
grown. And people
Yeah,
are like, "Oh, why don't you do this? You'll get so many more followers." I'm like, it's because that's not what it's about. I'm leaving my legacy for my children. So if they want to know how, there's going to be a point in time where I'm not here, and if they want to talk to me, I'm giving them the path on how to talk to me once I'm gone. So.
that's beautiful. How old are your children, by the way?
My son's 14 and my daughter's 11.
What do they think about what you do? I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry.
I don't know.
You
I
don't know.
really don't. I don't want to spook them out or anything.
Oh,
I mean, my
okay.
my daughter will come down here and play her VR,
Uh-huh.
the goggle thing, and you know,
Yeah.
she's like, I hate it when the lights are off down here. I was like,
Well,
well,
so
this
it's
is where
it's
Daddy
she's not
works.
ready. Yeah. There's time when, yeah, this she's not ready. I
Yeah,
get that totally. I mean, some of my children who are all grown up and so forth, it took them a little time to get accustomed to me being married to a psychic medium because, you know, Mr. Roger there. And because of what he does, it kind of spooked them out, but then they are now starting to embrace it.
Yep.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
they're
And Vicky says, "So wonderful, Jonathan. They are lucky." And I feel lucky. I feel lucky that they're in my life, and you know, and
Mhm.
now where I'm at, I feel they have chosen this life path, and they're brought to me, and I kind of
Yeah,
feel that when they get older, they're gonna kind of step in my shoes. So
sure.
yeah,
Jonathan,
And you never know.
I have a daughter that's
Yes.
turning 50
Yes.
this
yeah.
month. So
Yes,
wait till you
and
get up there, old man.
well, but
That's
I thought
3 years
you
away.
I I thought you were gonna go with this, that you have another daughter who, is in her 40s, and she is also now embracing the fact that she has the ability as well, that her
I
dad
have
has.
three daughters that have the ability, and one grandson. He
Yeah,
Yeah,
has it
so
too.
but the one daughter is now just really she too, Jonathan, just wants to help people. That's her intent, and she's a beautiful lady as well. So, I mean, and sometimes she shows up on our shows, but everybody's busy on Saturday from time to time. We totally get that too. So, um, yeah, it's a wonderful thing to pass on, and I think it's a lesson to learn that we all have psychic abilities. Actually, we
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Oh,
Interesting
Lisa,
thing happened
thank
yesterday
you, Lisa.
while I was taking a nap. Um, I had this. I don't want to call it a dream because it was so real, but I was seeing my life on another plane, like
Mm,
another timeline, and
okay.
and it was my same wife, and she was just different. Like she was acting different, and the house was different, and it was really weird. Like I've never experienced anything like that, and and,
Native
and
wise,
I was kind of terrified when I woke up. I was like,
native wise, Jonathan. We don't call it we call it a vision.
visions, yes, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So Vicky's suggesting this, viewing the Akashic records. Maybe that's what we were going to. We don't,
yeah,
that's the other thing that is fascinating to me. So this whole journey being married to a psychic medium for the past 6 years has made me go on my own journey and my own look at myself. And I have more questions than I have answers. And so that's Akashic records have just come into I got to find out more about that.
Let me
so
say
so
this,
to
Chris.
answer, yeah,
Yeah, go
Excuse
ahead.
answer
me,
his
Jonathan.
question is
Chris,
is
and,
yeah,
and and ours, it's our family has a long line of healers, what we call curanderos, curanderas, which are witch doctors and female doctors. Okay, and we all cure people. I mean, there's just so much of it in our family. So go ahead, Jonathan.
Oh no, I agree with you. I think it, you know, you can change your lineage. So if you don't have these gifts or nobody in your family's had these gifts, you can break that cycle. And I think my kids will have that gift, and it's going to present itself when it's time. But
Yep.
you
Mhm.
know, all it takes is like working out, to get those muscles stronger. You just got to continually open yourself up, open your mind up. Meditation really helps. Every morning, I'll sit in the bath and I'll play music with my frequency going through it. And even though the music's playing, I just try to focus on that frequency, and it just exercises your mind.
What's the
So,
frequency? What?
um, so before on Tuesdays before the show, I'll do 963
Oh, okay.
because that's when
Mhm.
I got an app on my phone. It's called a frequency generator, and it just plays that one frequency through my music. And
Mhm.
when I'm laying there in the tub, I close my eyes and I just try to focus on the frequency, while the music's playing. I try to focus out the music. So basically what I'm trying to do is just focus on that, and it just strengthens my mind, and it really opens up everything to get the responses that I do with spirit. So
That's beautiful. And so, yes, I was at we have in town a place where I go to, it's a healing center actually. And yesterday was a session with Crystal Bowles, and it was an hour long. And the frequency on that or something was 4.444.
yeah,
Uh,
that's the healing frequency.
mm-hmm.
So that's what I do every other day, to
Okay.
make me feel good, to
Yeah.
kind of heal my body, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a session that lasted an hour, but it felt like 15
Mhm.
minutes, and he was
Yeah,
hitting all my
yeah,
chakras. He hit
yeah.
each
No,
bowl
that
was.
just it brings your physical form into a kind of chi state. The yin and yang. It
Mhm.
just gets it flowing to where everything's in balance.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is what I love this that we're talking about this because I didn't ever know this before, and when I was just doing it, the more I do it, the more I hear and learn, and that was what I learned yesterday was that was the frequency, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Roger. You're raising your hand.
We have about 5 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Ordinarily, I do reads throughout. Like I say, let's go to work, and boom. But
Right.
Yeah,
we have our
that's what
good
I say
buddy
before a
Johnny.
session. Let's go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
the whole thing is, we have our good buddy Jonathan with us. So I wanted him to I told him, I said, the floor is open for you. So
Floor is
go
yours.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rather than me do reads, I can do reads on Wednesday's show, Latino Psychic Visions, which is at 4 o'clock. But do
Yeah.
not
Check it out.
forget Faye's show. Faye has a show called Faye's Angels, and that's at Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm just going
That's
to plug.
Central Time.
That's
Yep.
Central Time. And I just want to, for a moment, I would like to just plug the show that's happening on Tuesday. I have my guest that day will be Julie Jean Bassett, who is an animal communicator,
Yep.
and she helps people with who have pets that maybe have behavioral problems, or that they just wish to communicate with their animals. So if that kind of interests you, please join me on that show. She's a lovely woman. She's also a shaman practitioner. So
Jonathan, you have your dogs when you do your sessions. Your dogs are there, right?
Yep.
This is God's honest truth, everybody. When I do a cleansing for Faye, my dog Max, he goes nuts. He goes like around Faye, like he's protecting her. Because the spirits
yeah,
that I'm thinking of, the evil spirits that are coming off of her, he doesn't like them. If everything's fine, he'll just lay down. But otherwise, he gets real restless that he's going around Faye. And I got to tell him all the time, lay down, lay down.
mhm.
Everything's okay, lay down.
Well, he'll sometimes sit right next to me like a little guard dog.
Yep.
It's just kind of funny. Yeah, that is the cleansing that Roger does are quite amazing, totally amazing, and I feel much more balanced after that. So,
Thank you,
yeah,
Chris.
yeah. Thank you for joining our show today. We have to say goodbye pretty soon,
Yep.
and it's kind of sad. I am so glad you joined us today, Jonathan. It was just
Me too.
a
No,
bright
thanks for
spot.
having me. Yeah, it's a great time.
Oh, there's going to be more, buddy. There's going to be
Oh
more.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Mary Lassay, we hope you made it home okay, because I did what I could do for you.
okay, cool.
Anyway, Jonathan, you want to plug your show once again?
Yeah.
Please.
So tomorrow is my first podcast, Talking with the Source. That's on at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain. And then on Tuesdays, I do my show, the live Spirit Box sessions, trying to help cold cases. It's called Targeting with the JK47. And I do that at 12 p.m. Mountain, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then I just started a show on a new network called Legit Podcasts. And that's on Friday at 8 p.m. My time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, this new show that I'm on, I just want to help people, you know, if they're going to go out and investigate, just give them tips and tricks and, you know, just kind of just help people, you know, don't be afraid to go investigate, you know, expand your mind.
We're going to get ourselves some cat balls. I
You
mean,
should.
we
No, it's
because
fun. Yeah.
yeah, I think even, and it's crazy that I don't have one because we have a beautiful cat. But
This is for Jonathan.
yes, okay.
Yeah. Hi, Kathleen. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll look for your message.
Thank you for helping our friends on this show.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
what I'm
hope
here.
that
That's what
everyone,
I'm here to do.
you
Is help those that no one else can. So
yeah. So with
We
this,
hope everybody enjoyed the show today. Jonathan, a million thanks for you, buddy. And
no,
you
thank
will
you.
be doing other shows with us.
Yeah,
And we'll stay communicado.
definitely.
And by the way, go Cleveland.
go.
Yeah, exactly. I can't root for the Broncos anymore. So
No.
Yep. So, as we say every show, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join Faye Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Join the both of us Wednesday at 4 o'clock. We'll do Latino Psychic Visions. Faye will do Faye's Angels, okay? We don't know anything about Paul Francis yet. We're just hanging in there to see what happens. So, in the meantime, this is what we do, Jonathan. Every show we say this.
yeah.
Love everyone you can on this earth. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Because love is life,
It's life.
and
and
life
life
is
is
love.
love. Yes.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
Take
awesome.
care of yourselves, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be kind to one another. If you see somebody homeless, do what you can, okay? Because it's bad weather out there.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
cold.
Okay.
Until Tuesday, honey. I'll see you Tuesday, hon.
I'll see you Tuesday, honey. Goodbye.
Bye-bye,
Love you
everybody.
all.
God love you. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.